hello there. I didn't see you. I was too busy building my awesome Minecraft city. Hey everyone, I'm Astro and welcome to Illias. This is my very first YouTube video and potentially my last YouTube video depending on how much this triggers my fear of public speaking. This area is called the White Corridor. Initially, the city was part of a homebrewed D&D game that I ran for players for a number of years. And at one point, someone mentioned to me, hey, you should take this city and build the whole thing in like Minecraft or something. And I thought, oh man, that sounds like a huge project. If there's one thing I know about myself, it's that I love starting huge projects and then never finishing them. This part of it sort of describes how I want the whole city to feel, kind of regal and powerful and magical, because this is a high fantasy magical setting with wizards and dragons and knights and stuff. Coming up these stairs, we're entering Greenleaf. One of my buddies, Turkimus Prime, is actually working on these buildings right now. They're really just kind of amazing. Here's some custom trees. I'm very proud. I built these trees because I'm great at trees and great at building and just fantastic in general, to be honest. This area of town is called Centerfall. I imagine it kind of, fancy shops and lots of expensive restaurants and things like that, and all the things that I currently can't afford in my current lifestyle. So, it's a bit of a dream realization, I suppose, or fantasy fulfillment, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't guessed by now, I think my two favorite blocks are probably quartz and prismarine bricks. Yeah, it's not at all evident in my builds. This big building here, which is wildly unfinished, really just got sort of an outline skeleton going on. This is eventually going to be the Halls of Order, sort of a local government thing, sort of like City Hall, I guess. Probably some questions about this. This is actually a staircase. It goes down. There's an undercity. There's a whole portion of this city that is underground. I'll show you that in a little bit. This is actually filled with water. Not this one, but one of them. Maybe this one. One of these actually has fish and things in it, which I thought was a really neat touch. So the server itself has 5 members, myself included. They've come along for the ride. I don't know why. It's not like I'm paying them or anything, but they seem to enjoy it, so I won't question it. I'll just take advantage of their expertise and keep doing my thing. We have a lot of fun. It's been really fun getting to know these people and getting to spend time with them and hang out. It's really sort of an interesting experience, especially these days, when you can have friends that are completely on the internet. So this part of town is called Rhymegate, all these brown concrete outlines, and then these buildings over here. This is sort of a market and trade district. This is where a lot of commerce comes through. You get a lot of, I would imagine, a lot of caravans that come through this way looking to trade their goods away. All of these buildings, or most of these buildings, were built by another member of the server, Bart. They are fantastic. I can't even get over how crazy some of these buildings are. I am not good at the fine details, and Bart she really gets it. She just, I don't know, it's all the little things, it's the little nooks and crannies, and here, let's take a look inside one of these really quick. There's like ovens and meat, and I don't know, there's just a lot going on. It's probably the most finished part of the city right now. We've been hard at work getting, by we, I mean mostly Bart, has been hard at work getting all these buildings put up. Here are the Pinorm Botanical Gardens. It's a little garden build by the third of the 5 members. His name is MCX, and he is a fantastic builder. He did these gardens. It's got a greenhouse. It's got this little water tower and bamboo stalks. It's trees and flowers. It's really, really beautiful. Look at this. Got rime growth. It's a special fungus, I guess, that only grows on the white rime. Coming through Rhymegate. Got these nice lantern-looking things hanging. I love those. They look like the paper lanterns you see in Chinatown, I guess. It's very picturesque. Down this way, we have Some more buildings. We've got a little fountain. Let's see. This public drinking fountain and horse trough is dedicated to the noble steed. Beep beep, be not thirsty. So beep beep is a horse. This server, I turned off most of the animals and mobs and things because it's a creative server and we're doing peaceful stuff and they were getting a little bit on my nerves. So I turned them off, but somehow, oh no, he's gone. Oh, that's so sad. There was a horse here named Beep Beep. I don't know what's happened to him. Oh my goodness, that is heartbreaking. Anyway, coming through here, I'll show you the other gate. This is Rhyme Gate. Look at that. That is phenomenal. At some point I should count the number of steps, and that should be like a thing. I don't know, we could have a plaque that talks about how many steps there are to the top. That could be I don't know, like a touristy thing maybe. So I've been playing Minecraft for not very long at this point. I actually started playing when a friend of mine suggested I build this city, and that was back in February of 2020, right kind of at the beginning of this whole pandemic thing. This part is really, really unfinished. This is sort of an entertainment district. I kind of envisioned it being kind of like the Vegas Strip, but you know, medieval times Vegas Strip. This is my absolute favorite part of the city. This is a gigantic tree, if you can't tell. And I've made it mostly by hand. I mean, a lot of it's made using World Edit. We're using World Edit on this server. But, you know, I mean, like, you know, it's all my own design, which is really, really nuts. It took quite a long time, even with commands, to put together. Next to it, right behind this giant mushroom, is this sort of gray building with the black roof. This is the Sisia Leobrignel, and it's a temple for another god in my ever-changing pantheon. His name is Zywim, and he's a psychopomp. This big building is another huge thing. It's got kind of a circus tent looking roof, and it's actually going to be a gigantic fighting arena. Anyway, it's much larger than on the inside than it is on the outside, as a result of much of the actual arena being underground. Right up here where it starts to go straight up, that's about ground level on the surface. Someone's put pandas in it. Interesting. At least they're well fed, I suppose. So this area is called Heis. This is sort of this is Wizardland. This is like, you know, I don't know. This is where all the magic people live, though. You can tell because some of the roofs are pointy and they're funny colors. This is a staircase that leads from Heis, which is this wizardy area, up to where the tree is in that whole area, which is sort of a temple district. It's called Sonheim. I really love this path, just with the path blocks and the dirt and I think that's podzol and carpet. And I don't know, it just looks really nice. We got all these mushrooms and flowers and things, and all very green and just very beautiful. Let's fly up and take a look at this big tree, because I'm insanely proud of the big tree, and so I must show you the big tree. This is the big tree. It's very large. The very top of the tree is at max build height. Constructed mostly with World Edit. Made a lot of spheres, and then just kind of use the brush tools that they have to mix up some of the texture. I really like this mix of spruce and dark oak, and I believe these are just the brown, gray, and black terracottas. The leaves up here, they were really complicated. There's 15, 16 different blocks that make up the leaves in this tree. So I grouped some of the redder colors together, and then some of the oranger colors, and some of the yellow colors. And the red colors appear more closer to the body of the tree. If you look, you can kind of see the gradient as it starts out dark near the center of the tree and kind of gets lighter as you get out towards the tips of the branches. I really like that. From different angles, you get just a really neat effect. I'm very proud of it. It's very big. Let's fly back down over here to Heist. This one has fishes living inside it, which is great. It's also got turtles, but I don't know where the turtles went. I tried to put a dolphin, but turns out the dolphins do not like being kept in captivity and they die. No more dolphins. We're not going to do that. This is the clockyard. This is not the final color of this area. This is awful, but I needed something plain with a nice grid pattern so that I could map everything out where everything is going to go. And eventually I'll use brushes or commands or something to change all of the smooth stone into, I don't know, some sort of textured mix of things that are not smooth stone. Everything within this circle is not technically part of the Enorian Empire. It's its own entity. It's kind of like the Vatican, I guess, but you know, if the Vatican was, you know, filled with wizards instead of Catholics, I guess. I don't know if that's offensive. I'm sorry if it is. This big empty spot is eventually going to be a big wizard academy called the Hythelian Academy. It's going to be sort of Hogwarts-esque, I guess. I haven't quite got it all figured out, but it's going to be cool, I think. So the only way to get into the palace is via that bridge up there at the top of this, well, not the top, sort of the middle, I guess, of this clock tower. Again, we've gone for a very quartz and prismarine bricks aesthetic. You know, it's looking good. We've got some royal gardens. Right now it's just a royal pond and some royal grass, but eventually there will be actual gardens here. This is the sort of the water side of the castle. It's got this nice walkway that kind of juts out from the front of the palace. All this green area down here is eventually going to be buildings as well. This is sort of, I don't want to call it the slums, but it's kind of the slums, I suppose. It's the lower city. I have done absolutely zero planning down here. So eventually we will get around to designing and building that part, and hopefully that'll be sort of a YouTube thing that I can leverage for the YouTube account or something. I do look forward to building all of this, but I'd like to get most of this finished up at the top before we start on this at the bottom, because I think it's better to finish one thing before we move on to another, which is particularly ironic coming from me given my track record with finishing one thing before moving on to another, but I digress. Down here, we've got a bit of an inside port. It's nice in here. I like this. It's a little boxy. Eventually I'm going to have to go through and fix some of these square generations, you know. Coming into here, this is personally one of my favorite parts. This big, gigantic round room. This is called Mockengard, and this is the hub of the lower city. Each of these leads to one of those water-filled aquarium staircases that I showed you earlier. And I think that's pretty much it. That's most of the city right there. This is Illias. This is my baby. Anyway, I hope you guys will join me for more adventures through Illias. I'm hoping to make more videos, you know, where we can keep building things. It's gonna be awesome. If you like what you've seen, you know, I guess what I'm supposed to say as a bona fide YouTuber now is like and subscribe and hit the button, and that's a thing that people say, right? So do those things, and yeah, I'll catch you around next time.